Hello and welcome one and all. This is Old School Gamer 1971 here. Millie, Lloyd, everyone, hope you're all having a great day. If you would, please like and comment. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Support the channel and help it grow. Today's thoughts is on Rage 2. I've been playing this game for around 3 hours and this is what I think.
Plans for this world. Our Earth, so mercifully cleansed by the meteor they named Apophis. We had such plans, all thwarted by one man.
Rage 2 was developed by Avalanche Studios. It's an adventure game that came to the PlayStation 4 in 2019. This is a sequel to the 2011 game. You play as a ranger named Walker. Through your choices, you will shape your character, your loadout and your abilities that best fits your style of play. There are many options here and certainly it's a lot to take on board. There is a choice of male or female lead. PS, I do like the vehicular combat. Avalanche Studios is a Swedish video game developer based in Stockholm. Founded in 2003, they were formed after the collapse of Rock Solid Games. Avalanche specialises in developing open world projects. They're best known for the Just Cause series. They also made the Mad Max game with Warner Bros. Studios. Rage 2 is made in collaboration with ID Software. They've also opened up a New York office and a second office in Sweden in Malmö. You play as Walker, the last ranger of Vineland, who must survive in a world inhabited by mutants and crazed bandits. The planet was hit by the asteroid 99942 Apophis. The majority of mankind died during this apocalyptic event. Soon new settlements and factions rose out of the ashes. While the new settlements and factions was rising, a group called the Authority also rose. They declared themselves the new military power of the wasteland. As the game begins in Walker's home, Vineland, it is overrun, stormed by the authorities' rebuilt abandoned mutant armies. Walker's adoptive aunt, Prowley, is killed by General Cross. Prowley left a holotape asking you to carry out Project Dagger that will put a stop to General Cross for good. You have a big role in what is about to unfold. You are the last hope and have been the hidden weapon all along. So lock and load, people. Let's hit the road. So is this Rage 2 or is it Run of the Mill 2?
Oh, come on, Lily, that was my kill.
You gotta move a little faster, Walker. But there's plenty more where that came from. I'm telling you, this is the big one.
All right. Well, let's go fucking get some.
Come on! Let's do this!
The trailer was bright and colourful, fast paced and action all the way. I would say depending upon your playstyle, you can easily recreate that trailer during the game. In fact, I would go as far as to say you could probably do better. I would argue the graphics are improved over the build that they used to make the trailer, but happily they've kept the colour palette. With a big game like this, I know I haven't seen it all, but what I have seen looks varied. I love me some open world wasteland. Mad Max, Fallout 4, Far Cry New Dawn. So how does this world measure up? This seems to have borrowed from them all, yet at the same time it has improved on them in some ways. With this being set in space, it can stretch those boundaries, but I would argue that with a good writing and imagination you could stretch them anyway. I would say that in some ways it trumps them all, and certainly I enjoyed this more than the original Rage game. This is a first person game and was not quite sure at the beginning that it was for the best. Avalanche are mainly concentrated on third person. This seemed a bit of a departure from their normal comfort zone. However, it soon felt natural They did leave the vehicle as third person, and this was for the better, but the first person action works really well, and will admit I do like the graphical style on show here. Anyway, let me get back to the killing floor.
So much for Ranger Jersey.
He's not gonna defib out of that. It's all up to me now. I'm taking that armor.
If you're gonna do it, do... Shit, Mom's gonna skin you alive messing with Ranger gear.
But it's still got a lot of Jersey in it.
Yeah, but
So how are those guns sounding? Meter. Let me put it another way. When I fire my gun, does it sound like hell on earth? I would say yes. Right from the get-go, those guns sound great. I want it to sound like I could take down a building, even if all I'm firing is a glorified pea shooter on steroids. Even from the basics you get at the beginning, just sound right. And then you get the shotgun. Yes. Overdrive is just something else, also known as Moment in Raw. The world sounds great. With so much going on in the world, it does sometimes overwhelm the senses. But it is there. The vehicles sound like they growl. And there is silence. It sometimes sounds louder than the sound itself. This is great and does feel like it was done purposefully. This helps draw you into the game's world and makes the Wasteland an interesting place for at least the 3 hours that I've played so far. This is great as we have larger than life characters that have been created in tongue-in-cheek kind of way. This gives them character. This is pretty good at the beginning, but gets better once you get into more populated areas. The Wasteland is filled with them, and you end up looking forward to seeing who is coming next. Some get quite disturbing in places, and this is saying something when I am saying they're disturbing. This is a fast-paced game. As such, the controls need to be responsive. They are and make this fun to play. It's not overly hard, and time invested will reward you greatly. The game is not cluttered, but you won't have to travel far for your next slice of the action. Some is avoidable. Again, I like this as sometimes you have time for that and sometimes you just don't. Here there is choices, but expect a bit of grind if you want the best loadout. So we have gunplay and powers. So do they gel well? Get this wrong and it will break the game. Combat is a big part of this game, and here they gel well together. In combat and outside of it, the skills can help with traversal. Again, the further you get, the more powerful you will get. You will see arcs all over the place, helping your character to become the soldier he or she needs to be. The other part of traversal is vehicles. The first vehicle you get, look at it, it has mounted guns. The car combat in the game, you need a tough vehicle that is fast to defend against those on the road, off the road, and even attacks from the sky. The vehicles handle well and make traversal easy and fun. The races can also get tough, so better be prepared. The map is large and it's a wasteland. So is this a wasteland I want to be in? It looks damn fine and certainly is colourful. It keeps you busy, and I would argue that there is nothing else out there quite like this. I would also say I like what they filled the world with. In my short time, I feel like the world has grown on me. You never know what is about to greet you, and I cannot wait to get back to this world again. So is it the story or the gameplay that is drawing me back to this game? I would say it's a mixture of them both. The story at the beginning drew me in. The mission that you set out on also interests me. But it's once you hit that open world, it has so much going on. A mark on the map is something new. On the way somewhere, something appears on the map and you just want to see where it leads to. Whilst there is no proof to say so, I would suggest that this was destined to be Mad Max 2. It does feel like it. I think the craziness was added in later, and in some ways I am gutted there was no Mad Max 2. But I'm also kind of happy with what Rage 2 became. The craziness is just needed some days. I like a bit of fun in my games. You do a lot of stuff you did in Mad Max, so it will keep me happy for a few months when I get round to this game, and yes, it is on my to-do list. This is a wonderful open world that is as busy as you could ever wish for. There always seems to be something going on in every which direction. You can be as violent or as passive as you want to be. This is great, as with some open world games, there can often be just moving from A to B and nothing happens along the way. Here, there will always be people fighting along the roadside, or maybe somebody wanting a race, or maybe some vehicles attacking you, and that is right from the get-go. Being honest, 3 hours was never going to be enough, and you should only really invest in the game if you have the time to invest. This is a big game with lots to do. There are many time wasters, but time wasters that help improve your character over time. This really does have skills that will shape your character, and in 3 short hours I could see the changes to my character already, and I do look forward to see what my character will become. I saw this game criticised and bashed after release, and it is a pity, as the mechanics aren't bad. Yes, the gameplay is a little over the top, and this is one of the things that I love about the game. If I wanted a serious shooter, I would go and buy Call of Duty or Battlefield. Instead, I want a bright and colourful shooter where the order of the day is mayhem. I may never get a Mad Max sequel, but at least I have this, till something better comes along. So Rage 2 this most definitely is. If you are hearing this, you've made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for your support. Give it a thumbs up and comment if you enjoyed the video. Please share everywhere, as it helps the channel grow and puts a big old smile on this old face. Leave your suggestions down below in the comments. Enjoy your day, one and all. Old School Gamer 1971 signing off.